right, my friends, not the most fun and exciting topic today, but it's something we really need to talk about. Anytime there's a divorce, separation, or blending of families, it can wreak havoc on your child's sleep schedule. I wanted to make this video today because I recently worked with a family that really warmed my heart. And as much as they were going through a very hard time together, mom and dad were separating, they had a new baby, and they knew that things between them just weren't gonna work out, so they decided to go their separate ways, but they wanted to make sure that they were on the same page with their baby. The number one thing that we don't want to disrupt is your child's attachment with their caregivers. Yes, things are changing, but their sense of security is the most important thing in their lives. If you're familiar with the Maslow's hierarchy of need, safety and security is number one on the list. So when you're going through any kind of separation, then it is so important to keep your child's sense of security at the top of your mind. There are going to be a lot of things that you cannot control during this time of your life, but one thing you can control is the consistency for your child. So let's jump into the top 5 things that I have for you to help your baby or toddler get better sleep while navigating any kind of separation, divorce, blending of families, any big major life change for your child. And I already alluded to tip number 1, and that is consistency. Now, it's not just consistency in schedules, even though that is lumped into it. It is consistency across homes. Whether it is at mom's house or dad's house or whoever's, it needs to be consistent. So yes, that includes consistency in schedule, consistency in routines, and consistency in environment. You want to make sure that the sleep environment in both locations is as replicated. I was gonna say replicatable. Is that a word? No, probably not. You want to replicate your child's sleep environment in both places as much as possible. So that means making sure that it's blacked out, that there is white noise, and that they have a crib, their own sleeping space that is safe, so that all they have in the crib is a firm, flat mattress with a fitted sheet and nothing else. Whatever sleep stack your baby is using at one house, they should be using at the other house. Have multiples of all of these things. That is one way that you can remove blame. I know there's going to be a lot of blame for this, that, and whatever. However, it is going to be important to have replicas of whatever your baby needs to sleep at both houses, so you don't have to bring things back and forth. Tip number 2 is having a security item. Now, something I love that a family that I worked with did was on separate occasions, and this works well with toddlers, obviously not with infants, but with your toddler, mom can take the toddler to Build-A-Bear and make a mommy bear. Dad can take the toddler to Build-A-Bear and make a daddy bear. When the kid is at mom's house, they have the daddy bear. When the kid is at dad's house, they have the mommy bear, and that can help them have a security item, and they stay in those places. So mommy bear stays at daddy's, daddy bear stays at mommy's. Tip number 3 is to have a shared tracking app. This can be an app as simple as just tracking sleep, or it can be one that also tracks diapers, naps, sleep. You can be tracking all these things in one app in one place so that you know what your child needs. And yes, it is important to track your kid's poop, because if your kid is constipated and you need to help them and they weren't at your house yesterday, but now you have them today and you don't know why they're so uncomfortable and squirming around, that's probably why. If your child didn't sleep well the night before, you can look into the app instead of having to text the ex and say, when did they sleep? Just check the app and know when they slept. Tip number 4 is to avoid other major changes. So room sharing, or going to a new school, or sharing a room with a sibling, step sibling, half sibling, blended sibling, like whatever it might be. Try to avoid those things for as long as possible until your child is settled into new routines and can warm up to the idea of having to share a space. I know it may not always be possible, but if your child is already struggling, this is one thing that maybe we can control. Okay, tip number 5, this is the biggest one that I have here, is that you are on the same team. Whether you are just separated, fully divorced, getting divorced, or blending families with another family, You all have to be on the same team, okay? I literally do not care what your other issues are with each other, but you have a common child. And at the end of the day, at one point or another, you decided that you liked each other enough to make a baby, okay? And the number one most important thing is knowing that you need to keep the best interest of that child in mind and to keep your drama elsewhere. This is where I come in. Hiring a third party for help can be very helpful. This is where a lot of families will talk to me and say, I just got a divorce, or I'm a single parent and I'm not sure how to navigate all of this. And I get the other parent on the call and we talk things out and we talk about all the things that need to be consistent. We talk about what the schedule needs to be, what the sleep environment needs to look like. And if you need to hire a third party, call me. If you're interested in setting up a quick 30-minute one-time call and talk to me and have me as your third party, I would be honored to help your family get to a better place through these hard times. I know that it can be very difficult to be going through any separation, and it's a big emotional change as well as physical environment changes, and your child is going to feed off of your energy. Let's try to make it a positive energy when your child is with you, and we can make sure that things are consistent and that your child is feeling secure and happy. And that is the number one goal for your child. We never want a child to feel like they are the reason for the separation or any other negative feelings. At the end of the day, your child's feelings are what matters most. I really hope that this could help some people out there. I know it's a sensitive subject, but again, if you need some help and you want a third party to just come in and talk to you guys about how to make this a better transition for your child, just please remember you are all on the same team. Team child, okay? Whatever your kid's name is, insert here. It's always a good thing to ask for help, so book a call if you are interested, and keep blooming. Mwah.